Welcome back into this segment of the Enrichment Sports Source, brought to you by Fast Frame. Fast Frame out at the Common Shopping Center on North Peters Road. That's where you can pick up the 2014 official print of the Dogwood Arts Festival. There it is. You can support the local tradition, the Dogwood Arts Festival, a local artist who painted that, and the area's best local frame shop, in my opinion, Fast Frame. Most of us on this set have had something done out there, and they do a great job with anything you take it from sports memorabilia to pieces of art like that, and they also sell prints like the one from the Dogwood Arts Festival. Get out there this week and take a look at it. Take a look at all the stuff they have at Fast Frame. All right, back with the full crew. Mark, I'm going to start with you, kind of a short segment here. Vols host Georgia midweek, then they travel to Texas A&M, a team that already beat them in Knoxville. Tennessee needs to win out. I don't think there's any question they need to win out. But one step at a time, Georgia's up first. What do Vol fans need to know about a Georgia team that was horrible in the non-conference part of their schedule? Now they're 8-4.
Yeah, they're playing really well. They run a lot of their flex duck-in options, and Charles Mann and Kenny Gaines are two really good guards that aren't getting enough recognition in the SEC. They ran a lot of center ball screens last year that were trouble for us, and we saw some of that last night with Missouri. So I would think they'll take advantage of that, and also their zone. They'll run some zone defense against us. They'll trap out of it and really try to switch things up defensively to keep us on our heels, and especially if it's going to make Jarnell kind of go invisible for a little bit, because that's their weakest area is down on the block. And so we got to find a way to win the battle of the paint and protect our paint on the defensive end. And
this is a team that beat Missouri this year. Georgia did. How much is it hurting guys like Konzo Martin, like Frank Haith, like Mike Anderson at Arkansas, Andy Kennedy at Ole Miss, that the league is down, and yet they're all trailing Mark Fox and Georgia at 8-4. I think not only is it bad for the SEC in terms of NCAA hopes, because the selection committee is going to look at that and say, well, they can't beat Kennesaw State Tech, but they can beat 8 teams in the SEC. I think it's bad for these coaches, too. I think it's turned up the heat on them. Do you agree?
No, I agree with you. And I remember thinking a few weeks ago that there needs to be separation in the league, that the bad teams need to lose and the good teams need to win. You don't need somebody like a Georgia stepping in there and beating some teams that might be on the bubble. And that's exactly what Georgia's done. And I think the roster's just okay. But like you said, it was Kennesaw State and some other teams they lost to in the
non-conference. I was exaggerating, but yeah, they lost to some really bad teams.
They did. So, I think that's a black eye on the SEC.
I mean, realistically, the SEC is a 2-team league for the NCAA tournament.
Yes.
They'll get a third team, but you've got 2 good teams and everybody else, put them in a sack, throw them out, and whoever comes out first on that day is the better team. Then you do it all over again.
Which I think makes everyone griping about their coach this year kind of a legitimate gripe. If you're ever going to take control of a league, isn't this the year to do it? Whether it's Konzo Martin, Andy Kennedy, Mike Anderson, Frank Haith, isn't this the year you should be running with the darn thing? Because there is no third best team.
Well, you would think so. I mean, you're 6-6 in a mediocre league at best. And to your point, John, what was Georgia's RPI earlier, just like a month or so ago? What, like 300 and something?
Oh, no, that was their strength of schedule.
Their strength of schedule. That makes it even worse, is that they've got a weak schedule, and then now they're beating SEC teams when they were losing to, bad teams.
Mark Pankratz, go ahead, finish.
Oh, no, I was just saying, this is, Georgia's had our number here a little bit the last 2 years. What they do has caused us problems, and so it's going to be an uphill battle, especially coming off a week that we got swept. But it's got to start with this one, otherwise we know where it can head.
All right, Mark Pankratz, thank you very much again. We'll see you right back here next week. When we come back, a really stacked lightning round. Let me tease what we got coming up here. We're going to talk about the latest on the Tennessee football arrest from last weekend. Will it be a distraction in the locker room for an openly gay player to be in the NFL? Is the Alabama-Auburn rivalry, wait till you hear about what's going on this week, is that the best rivalry in sports or the worst? We'll discuss. Come on back on the Enrichment Sports Source.